What's up, everybody? Spare with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on Space Engineers. It's been probably a few days, week, something like that. I'm losing track of time, to be honest. Since my last episode, and I apologize for that, I had a kind of severe computational emergency, if that's a word. So, computer emergency, basically. I had a hard drive that was failing. Unfortunately, it was my primary hard drive, which is not fun. So I spent about a week in the process of doing backups and restoring and moving stuff and reinstalling Windows to a whole nother drive. Anyway, needless to say, ended up, I'm running Windows 10 now. Don't ask. There's a series of random events that led to that happening. So I'm running Windows 10. I've also upgraded over the... I bought some new microphone, mic stand, pop filter, things like that to kind of improve my sound quality, so you have to let me know how it is. I'm still working out the kinks in terms of making sure all the settings and volumes and all that are balanced properly, but do leave feedback on how it sounds and if you prefer it or things that I can change, blah blah blah, because I'm still working out the kinks. But all in all, back to recording standards. I don't have all my programs installed yet, but most of them. And we're back to recording, editing, uploading, etc. Standards of software functionality. So, I'm back with my videos. Now, I did start recording the beginning of the inspiration episode for tomorrow before this one, so I think I might have already mentioned that, but it occurred to me this was going up first, so I thought I'd bring it up now. So just ignore it in the next video, whatever. So, anyways, let's get on to the building of today. So as you can see, I've made some progress. I'm trying to stick to the whole, like I mentioned before, of putting stuff on one side so that it can be compared, and then kind of going from there in terms of what everyone prefers. So this is kind of what I have going on at the moment on the side, which I'm not 100% sold on. Like, I'm definitely keeping this, but it did feel like a step in the right direction to me. Especially considering that the Star Destroyers actually do have these kind of staggered sections to them. Although, I will admit, they don't line up one right after the other. There's a little bit of space in between each one. So we might have to explore those kinds of options. The back corner here is still giving me a ton of problems. As you can see, I've got some things that I've experimented with, but there's multiple ideas going on here. No one idea that's actually holding to, yep, I'm totally doing that. There's about three. The first is connecting these, this first row here with an angled block and then kind of wrapping it around. The next idea, you can see there's a little bit of space. Well, I'm trying to get it to show. There we go. You can see there's kind of a lip there, which I don't like. But, so, here's the problem. There's a new mod that reintroduces ladders in a different way, which is awesome, and I totally am thankful for the mod maker for doing that, because I've missed ladders. I don't know why Keen took them out in the first place. It's kind of annoying to me. I'm not bitter. But this eliminated the need for that wraparound pathway, which is really cool. So basically, when you walk up to a ladder, you need your jetpack off. But then with this mod, you jump... Oh, I don't have my HUD on. Okay, hold on. There should be... It's been hit or miss. There we go. Mounting ladder. And then when you look up and down, you'll climb up and down the ladder. If you look to your right or left, eventually you'll drop off of it, or jump off of it. And if you look directly behind you, you'll jump off reverse. Which in our case is what we actually need to do. Oh, and then if you turn... Yeah, if you turn your inertia dampeners on or off, it turns your ladder controls off. So like that way you can turn around and look without actually jumping off or climbing up and down. So if we climb all the way up here to the top, and then I spin around, you're basically jumping off the ladder back here. Now we can put walkways, pathways, whatever, up to the point that obviously we will have to make sure that we don't walk into them or leave enough room that we can still climb up. But it eliminated the need for a big, like, wraparound pathway, which was going to be hard to cover up in the neck section here. In terms of the cockpit in here, I've added a couple little lights just to make things a little brighter, even though they're not doing their job yet. I'd have to tweak them. Oops, wrong button. And I've kind of settled on this as my bridge. Now, my main control, I should say. Now, I am not 100% sold on what to do with the rest. We could clutter it with LCD panels and things of that nature. We could do decorative screens and stuff to make it look more fancy, but ultimately I'm pretty sure this is the best option for controlling the ship. It kind of fits the size of the cockpit, it's standing so it feels appropriate for like a Star Destroyer kind of ship. And it looks cool, and it's green, which, what's the Empire colors? It was like, you know, gray, blacks, and then their lasers and stuff were green, so I thought that was kind of cool. So I like this cockpit. I actually thought of using the new, am I stuck? I'm stuck. The new Spectre cockpit by Tartarus Incorporated and Tumble TV, also the mod developer behind the Azimuth mods, which is a really, really cool cockpit. Unfortunately, I could not really find a way to make it work with this design. I tried for like an hour this afternoon to get this to, in some way, shape, or form, work. And it would not. I even took apart the nose, thinking I could have a secondary cockpit in the nose, which would have been kind of cool, but alas, it wouldn't work. And I was like, darn this Star Destroyer design for that, because it is such a cool cockpit. Actually, I'm going to take a quick little side break here for a second, just to show you kind of how this works. So, because honestly, it took me a little bit more than I'd care to admit to figure out how it works, because the video is a little dated on the channel, like on the mod page in Steam. When you click on the link and stuff and it plays a video, there's a part in the end of the video that walks you through how to build it, because it's a modular cockpit. But it's a little dated because they made a few changes to it, and if you read through the comments in that page, you can find that out. But if you're just watching the video, and like it won't work the same way. So the quick version, so that I'm not like talking for hours and hours on explaining all this, because it's actually really simple, and there's a visual cue to it that once you get used to it, it actually is really easy. But there's two different versions of the cockpit as well. I'm waiting for my... You can hear the selection. I'm waiting for my screen to load because of all the mods. I'm hoping... Keen Software recently made their patch roadmap for 2016, and they mentioned user interfaces, performance updates, and like... trying to streamline big worlds and lots of mods to where they load and work a little bit better, so I'm hoping that'll fix things. But you have the main cockpit and the glass, and then you have left, top, right, low, and right LCD panels. These are all for this base. Then you have a small cockpit with the small glass, and then there's small panels for that cockpit as well. So I don't know if they're interchangeable. I don't know if you can use the small LCDs on the main cockpit, or if they're only going to work on the small cockpit. I'm not really sure about that point. I haven't experimented. But so if you place it down, basically it's obviously going to be oriented in a specific direction, like where the nose is pointed. That's fairly self-explanatory, and you can move it around, so just keep in mind of where you've moved it to. And then it's usually easiest to place a block on the top of the back metal strip here, and that way you have something to attach to. You won't need it there, it's just easier to give you a gauge. When you select the glass, again, you want to spin it to where the nose, the wire nose and the back kind of line up. But you want it to be one block off of that metal strip. Now you can point it down, so you don't need that metal block. You can actually just point it straight down. But sometimes it's a little easier if there's a block there. And you'll know when you did it right, because if you don't... Let's see if I can get rid of this here. Whoops. Aw, crap. Dang it. It does not like being broken, I will give it that. Hold on a minute. Let me see if I can fix this. Okay, so this has happened to me more than once. If you try and delete the glass, it does weird stuff. But not to worry, I can usually just move the ship around a little bit, and it goes flying off into who knows where. One side note to this is it let me test out the EM thrusters, which actually works really well considering the size of the ship. All of this is actually working extremely well, and it slows and stops. Now, I don't know how this will work in atmosphere or with planets, but it's really pretty fast and movable. So this ship is going to be really interesting to see when you actually put it all together in the and combine it with the survival elements. That'll be interesting. So I'm not going to put the glass down. I just showed how to do that, but the glass is really weird to delete. I don't understand it exactly. Let's try this. I am going to put this one down. So you can see when it's wrong. I mean, it's fairly obvious. But you want to go off of the center and go one down, and then that'll be the correct glass. The problem is, I can't... Oh, there we go, I got it. Sweet. So you would put it right there, and then it'll put the glass down. I am going to go ahead and do it, dagnabbit. Alright, now what's different is the LCD panels. Originally, the video talks about putting them in front of the glass block, which becomes invisible. It's right there. And originally you were supposed to put it there. They changed it, though, to where now you put it on the bottom. And basically, it forms, you match this visual cue because you can see the LCD panels right there. It's floating up above the block. But there's a actual angle slope block that's underneath it. So when you place it, it shows the panel shows up in the cockpit, but on the bottom it makes it easy to figure out whether you're placing the right ones in the right place, because you're basically just building a corner, or correction, a slope, and with some angles and corners. So for example, this is the right one, which goes on the other side. So here's the left one, so then it fits right in there. The low one, when you turn it, will fit right behind the top, so you have top and then low. And then the right will fit, if I can remember how to rotate things, there we go, right there. And at that point, the cockpit is completely fixed, basically. And you can highlight this little panel over here to open the glass, which is a really cool animation. And then you can get in, and from this point, you would want to highlight the glass and put that in your hotbar as an open close. Hence, that way you can close the glass once you're inside the cockpit. But you've got these 4 LCD panels, which is really cool. You don't have to like work around trying to finagle LCD panels into the cockpit, because this one comes with it, which makes it really neat. Not to mention it looks really cool. I mean, look at that. It's like flat. It's got like a flat head, but an arrow pointed angle. Really cool looking. And the animation for opening it is really cool too. So yeah, that's the Spectre cockpit. Obviously, for obvious reasons, I wanted to use that one. Now let me see if I can get rid of this. Okay, sweet. I don't want to have tons of flying glass everywhere in my world. So obviously that's a really cool panel, and I know that, or cockpit, and I know that took a little bit of time from our normal episode, but if any of you are having trouble with it, that should help you. And if not, then you just got to look at a really cool cockpit, I guess. I don't know. So I've kind of figured out with the hammerhead look, we're pretty much good on that. I did put glass in here temporarily until we decide what to do with the inside. I like the windows. I like the window look. I do think that's pretty cool. It lets you look around and see stuff. I'm not too keen on this. It's very blocky, though. I want to do something with this, but I really don't want to do just like we had it before, which was just the ramp type things that take up the whole space, because then it's just wasted space. I'm not opposed to sealing off this window if we want to make it like standard square blocks or whatever. You know, like just a wall of blocks, and then we could put screens or various other things along this way. I'm not opposed to that, but until I come up with a better solution, I just put windows in there. So yeah, I still have to kind of dress this up, but the overall shape and setup of the cockpit I think I'm pretty good on, except for this part. I have to finish this ladder hallway in order to figure out how much room I need, because typically on a small ship grid, like your feet obviously fit on one block, but you typically make like a 3-block wide hallway for your character to really fit, which brings me to the next issue. Typically, this hallway here has been 3 blocks wide, which made sense, until the ladders. The ladders are 3 blocks wide, so if I were to... where did I build? Off of this, and make a row, like we had it before, you can see it gets to the ladder and then the ladder stops it. So we have to go out one, which has been the conundrum that caused all of this mess. So, yeah. This I'm still kind of stuck on. I'm not opposed to this kind of thing right here, where it kind of curves out. My biggest concern is in order to make that work, I feel it'll make the neck too fat at the base, which could be an issue, but I don't know. I really don't. And this kind of stuff right here isn't too bad, except I really don't like the overhang that it puts out over the neck. So yeah, I'm really kind of at a loss with some of this in terms of, I know there's ways to make it work, I'm just not finding the right ones. This, however, I'm pretty sold on, with a few modifications for it to fit into the neck. So there's that. And it kind of occurs to me that this episode is kind of turning into more of an update, idea, brainstorming, spitballing episode than actually building, because I spent a lot of time this afternoon actually building, and I'm kind of just catching you all up to speed, basically. As to this, over here, I don't know for certain, but I think the maglock is the problem. I have a feeling that whenever I activate that maglock, it pulls it off of this piston head and breaks the thing. My reasoning for that is because this all worked, and then when I locked it and unlocked it, it broke again. One nice thing, though, is I found out something really, really cool. So let's break the piston here. I said break the piston. There we go. Now, if I copy this, as you can see, it takes the whole structure along with the armor slopes. So now I can just delete this. Boink. I am going to get rid of that. We're going to test this theory out again. I did have to get rid of a lot of these blocks, though, for this to work, to let me replace it. It wouldn't let me place the blocks again. So let's just clear this out real quick. One too many. Where's my normal blocks? 5. There we go. Okay. So now... actually, no, I want... one of these rows has a piston on it. There we go. So we'll do like this. Place that there. And then from here, we find the piston. There we go. It'll extend, and once it's extended, we can just snap this back onto the piston head. In theory. Maybe. Okay, in my defense, it did this to me before. Like, it worked, so... not entirely sure why it's not working now. Unless it just wants to make a liar out of me because it's being mean. Come on now. Work. Okay, well, you can see where I'm going with this. It worked before. I don't honestly know why it's not even, like, seeing it. That's really weird. Because before it would snap right to that. Maybe if I redo it again? I don't understand. It worked, I did it exactly the same way and it worked perfectly fine. Now it's being weird. Still, it's things like this that remind me and bring to mind that, oh yeah, it's still an alpha game sometimes. Because every once in a while, it'll just do some weird stuff where, like, things that should work don't work. Tell you what, let me see... How wide is this? It's 2 blocks wide and it goes all the way over. So I don't think deleting those blocks there would actually help. It's so weird. It literally, like, right before I recorded this, before I loaded, I had to reload it because it broke again. But right before I did this, it worked. I don't understand why it's not... It should be snapping to that piston head. And it's, like, not doing that. Why are you not doing that? That is so weird. It should have worked. Wait. There we go. Ah! So now you can see they all light up green, but more importantly, the conveyors light up yellow, and they all work. Now, let's retract this again. You know what? I can be kind of derpy sometimes. Just give me a button pedestal. We're just gonna map the piston to it. Duh. Keep going through, like, control panels and crap. Ah, well, reverse. There we go. So when it retracts, everything's fine. It's all good. And it'll go back out again. But if I were to do a maglock 3x3 like I did before, and place it... Where did I have it? Maybe let's try up here so it's not actually attaching to what's on the piston head. Let's see if that does anything. So then it's in range. All the conveyors are yellow. Okay, let me do the same thing, because it's really annoying to have to go through all the menus. I mean, every time anyway. It's not really that bad for once or twice, but... switch lock, I think. Okay, now that's a little different, because before it wouldn't do that. Ah, see, now we have the same problem. I can reverse the piston and nothing happens. But the maglock is unlocked. How weird is that? It makes no sense. Okay. Nothing. Huh. Weird. It doesn't make any sense to me. If I get rid of that, it's still not working. And now everything, the solar panels have gone red, though the conveyors haven't. And then the head disconnects. So, I don't know... I'm not good enough yet with the, like, piston mechanics, rotor mechanics, yada 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 yada, to know exactly what's going on. Like, some people out there that are mod developers and things like that, they're really, really crazy about knowing all the different mechanics and how they work. For me, I'm not one of those people. But... And now I can't get it to connect again. But what I will say is something is disconnecting the head when I use the maglock. I don't know what it is, but it's like it's pulling it or something. Maybe if I go further away. I don't really know what I did this last time that made it work. Oh, wait, maybe, no. I really don't know. I was messing around with it and then it just worked. And of course now I can't figure out what I did. It's gotta be that the block I selected is that's what it is. Okay, so let's place this. Let's grab this block. I bet you that's what it is. Maybe. Maybe not. I stand corrected. I was thinking it was trying to select a different block type of thing than the main, what I was thinking was the back. But, oh, wait, there we go. So yeah, I don't understand it exactly, but as long as I don't maglock it, it seems to be fine. Now, before we, like, write that off, let's put all of our stuff back and see if that holds true. So yeah, I'm not like a huge mechanic feature person like some people where they can walk through specifically how the engine sees certain collision boxes and blah 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 blah. But I will say that it clearly is like pulling the head off the piston basically for some reason. I don't really understand it, to be honest. Alright. Use the short blocks here, I think. I always get this part confused. Do I use these? Will these fit? These are the offset. Will these fit? So the full blocks will not fit. I don't think. So I believe I had to use the shorter ones? I'm thinking. And then what? We used the other way, like this on the right, to give it more leeway, I think is how we did this. I will say, I'm not any kind of like guru genius person when it comes to dynamic ideas and designs and stuff, but I will say this is probably one of the most unique features to this build that I can think of so far, is the, oh wait, I had it, crap, I don't remember. This went together so haphazardly that it was like there was a very specific way that you had to build this. I believe it went like that, I think. So there's enough space under and below, and then this one may have been just the space underneath. Nope, it's not letting me do that either. So we'll do it like that. So yeah, I kind of feel like that's probably one of the most unique features to this build. Yeah, and it extends perfectly fine. So as long as you don't maglock it for some reason, it works, which is really, really, really weird to me. And quite frankly, I hope it doesn't just end up like ripping itself apart as you fly really fast, so there's that. Actually, that might be something we should test out real quick. Let me save this. And then I don't ever really plan on flying with those open type of thing. Like, that wouldn't really be something I see as plausible, because why would you fly with oxygen panels open? So let's see if we can get it up to max speed. Let's see if the piston holds up. I will say those EM thrusters work. Like, I still don't really know. Ooh, I heard something break. Something's breaking. I don't know how the power use and all that will hold up when we get into survival or whatever, but I'm pretty sure that those EM thrusters will be fine. So it seems like everything's okay. And the piston still works. I didn't do a whole lot of super fast turning or anything, mainly because the thrusters were acting weird. But I did hear something bang around. Was it over here? On this side? Maybe? Nope. All that looks intact. So I don't know what the banging was. But all of that looks okay. Isn't that... Wait, there's supposed to be something in the newer version of the game that the pistons, like, retract or lock or something? Something to that effect. So let's actually try and fly with them out. See if it gets ripped off or not. I already saved it, so... Okay, when I get up to 100 meters per second, something happens where my whole turning and everything locks up. I don't know what that's about. The piston seems okay. I do keep seeing sparks, but I don't know if that's just a lighting glitch or not. Am I breaking my ship? Man, that thing stops on a dime, though. That is so cool. I hope all that holds up as we keep continuing with it. Alright, so I'm not seeing any problems, which is actually very surprising to me. Now, I don't remember. I will be upfront about this. I do not remember if I have block damage turned on or not, which, you know, it would probably be hard to tell if you're damaging anything if you have block damage turned off. But, so I don't really know, but so far, so good. And it works. So maybe we don't even need a mag lock, because it's just going to break things. So anyways, I know we didn't build a whole lot, but I did make a lot of progress on the build. So I'm definitely looking for feedback this episode. I'd like to know what you guys think about this section right here with the overlap. Even this section, if it's too flat there, if we should angle it out more before it flattens out. Stuff like that. Ways to decorate the cockpit, or bridge, excuse me, it's big enough, it should be a bridge. Stuff like that, and pretty much what in the world to do with this back corner connection with the neck and the body, because that's been driving me crazy. Oh, and also, what do you think of the ladder? Because I was very excited about that I was like, yay! We don't need a huge walkway, we have ladders, woo! So yeah, let me know what you guys think about all that in the comments. In the meantime, I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I will see you all next time. Peace!